What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Season 3, Episode 15 of Hit the Books, the podcast all about sports gambling, the best bets you should be taking, and everything surrounding sports. We're here for Week 14 of the NFL season, coming to you a day early this week, 15 games on the slate, 2 on Monday, tons of other sports to go over as well. NHL getting a salary cap increase. All three Hughes brothers are playing together tonight, but not too much else from me here. Let's jump into this week's episode and introduce my co-hosts, Huff, Ace, and Mackie. Mackie, let's start off with you this week. What do you got for us, buddy? Another week here. Week what are we at? Week 14. Almost a full slate, like you guys were talking before the pod. What do you got for us?
Yeah, getting towards the end of the season. I said at the beginning of the season, I said it's gonna fly by, and it's definitely flown by. But not much coming from me. I finally had a positive week this week, sitting at under 20 units now. So I'm gonna embrace that fade god mentality. You want to fade me? Fade my picks, whatever. But positive this week. See if we can get positive again next week. Cowboys big game this week. Obviously, huge win over the Seahawks on Thursday Night Football last week. That was a big one. And this one coming up Sunday night is for the division against the Eagles, so I'm hyped for that. Other than that, not much going on. Huff, what do you got going on?
Yeah, not much going on with me. I was gonna say to give you a little confidence boost. I hope they faded you early on because I think you have a little bounce back stretch coming. At least I hope so. That
I
was a
love
big
it.
positive week. So
I love it,
if
Huff.
you faded Mackey early on, good, you're doing all right. But hopefully bounces back another positive week, like he said. So the boys all around had a pretty good week. Myself, I think I went like a game under, but 2 first touchdowns on the card. I highly recommend when people tail my first touchdowns to not put a full unit on them. I don't know how I can't stress that enough. I'm gonna do it every time on the card, but if you don't want to, go 1-1 with the push, like kind of like Mackey did last night, where you lose the first touchdown but you hit the teaser, maybe just sprinkle the first touchdown. These aren't guarantees. You're taking a 15-1, or I think I took a 19-1 Justin Watson, but that's really all.
Also,
So
also, if you're gonna fade Huff's first touchdowns, fade them or take them. You got to take them all because when they hit,
yeah,
they hit, and he hits
yeah.
a good amount. But don't be taking one every 4. It's just
That's
not
like
gonna work.
shout out Buckley. He started just texting me and being like, "Give me 5 names." And last week I was like, Montgomery. I just named all of them. I think Montgomery was the only one I hit, but it was 600. So if you would have taken all 5, you would have technically won a unit. But
Exactly.
Not too bad, boys. Ace, let's finish it off here. Get through these intros. Get on to our episode. What do you got for us?
Yeah, first off, I just want to know why I rank lower than Buckley on the totem pole. I said, give me 5 first touchdown scores Sunday
he
before
texted me
the game,
so
and I
early.
didn't
He
get any
texted me
answer.
so early. He texted me so early.
No, I'm just messing with you. Mackie, another strategy besides throwing up long shots, maybe just go with a 20-unit play on the Cowboys this week.
I was thinking, 20-unit play, get back to 0.
I might ride it with you. I like the Cows this week. But yeah, like Huff said, the boys had a good week. I think I was just under 2 units positive, so another good week in the books there. Sunday Night Football really doing me in. My boy Patty Mahomes, I bet you he bounces back here. Sorry, my dog. And yeah, but no, great week ahead of us here. My Patriots just keep climbing up the draft leaderboard, something I've never seen in my life. So don't have to watch those
The
games. I get to
draft
enjoy all the other good
leaderboard.
games. Hey,
I've never heard of it
I feel like I'm
called
from
a
Cleveland,
leaderboard.
right? I feel like I'm from Cleveland. I don't know what to call it. This is a uncharted territories for Patriots fans of my age.
Get used to it over there in Rhode Island.
I mean, Rhode Island's in New England last time I checked. Is Long Island in Dallas?
First of all, I'm not from Long Island. It wasn't even a chirp. I was just
He's just saying get used to it.
I wasn't saying from where you're from. You don't have. But is
Imagine
Boston in
wearing-
Rhode Island?
Mackie, I can wear an NL East hat because I'm not a Mets fan. You're a Mets fan wearing a Braves hat.
Oh,
Is
it's
that
baseball. Who cares?
bad? Hey, I mean, they have a good shot at winning. But hey, you got the Cowboys here. Cowboys are riding high. You can ride high. So let's get into this week. We got a lot of good games, a lot of good leagues to look forward to.
I'm still laughing at you saying, "How do I rank below Buckley?"
Alrighty, boys, here. Let's jump into this week's episode here. Don't forget about our live stream each and every Sunday morning, ready to showcase the top 5 games of the week, giving our best bets on those. Again, Sundays, 10 a.m. Eastern on YouTube and Rumble. Like I said, 15 games this week here, week 14, 2 games on Monday. Let's start it off with our power rankings for the NFL. Coming in at number 5, the Miami Dolphins. Number 4, the Baltimore Ravens. Number 3, the Dallas Cowboys. 2, the Philadelphia Eagles. And number 1, the San Francisco 49ers. Curious to hear what you guys think about these power rankings here. Coming into week 15, we're wrapping up the season. The season's going quick, like Mackie said. Mackie, what do you think about those power rankings here this week?
Yeah, you see 1, 2, and 3 all coming out of the NFC. I don't think we saw this coming into the season with everyone. I mean, everyone's always said the AFC's been loaded with talent with the quarterback in the quarterback position over there, but those 3 teams, the NFC East or in the NFC, are leading the pack. They're leading the pack in the MVP conversations as well. So it's cool to see the NFC with some firepower under their ass.
Ace, was it to you last week that I said, was this the first week that we could you see all 4 NFC and AFC championship playoff teams on these power rankings? Was that me and you talking about that
Yeah,
last
yeah,
week?
we were talking about that last week with we were thinking the Ravens, Chiefs, Niners, and Eagles all going to get into that top 5.
Yeah, Mackie,
What?
what do you think about that? I
What?
also think at this week because I think the Dolphins are that 3rd team in the AFC with the Chiefs. Obviously, Dolphins on the graphic this week, but I said to Ace last week, I said, would you basically guarantee 2 of those 3 NFC teams make the NFC Championship, Mackie?
Yes, for sure.
And
I mean,
AFC,
the only real competition there is the Lions, and I don't think the Lions are gonna. I don't think they get past any one of these 3 teams.
yeah. And then I said in the AFC, we said Ravens, Chiefs, Dolphins. Would you guarantee 2 of those 3 teams get there?
Yeah, I guess
Notice
because
how he
when you're
pauses
looking at
there, Mackie. Mackie, I had a point I wanted to bring up when you're talking about these NFC teams. Kudos to them because they're playing lights out, great rosters and whatnot. But I think a reason we see them jumping into the upper echelon of our power rankings is they have a lot of trash cans to play over there in the NFC. I mean, the AFC is full of parity. Look at that AFC West. Every team, solid team out there. NFC North, NFC South, both weak divisions. AFC South really jumping onto the scene this year. So there's not many holes that you can find in the AFC. Maybe that feeds into these MVPs, top of the leaderboard things. Just something to keep in mind.
yeah, I think Jacksonville has a shot at making the AFC Championship game. No, I wouldn't count them out, especially with the. I mean, you
Maybe not
see
after last night.
I think Baltimore is definitely the strongest team in the AFC this year, hands down. But I mean, we see what they can. We've seen them choke year in year out. They blew that game to the Steelers this year. I mean, that was just a terrible loss. They blew that game to the Browns, I think it was, where they lost 33-31. We've just seen so many slip ups by them. I wouldn't be surprised to see it again in the playoffs. And the Chiefs aren't who they used to be. I don't think that they're the same team we've seen in the past 4 years. I think it's actually a pretty good opportunity for a team like the Jaguars to slide in there, who are really not in that top 3, 4 teams that we're talked about, but they're right there and they have the quarterback to do it.
I'm excited to see if the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes will have to go on the road away from the kingdom and see how they fare. We saw Brady do it a few times. It didn't happen much in his long tenure of ruling the AFC. Now it's Mahomes' turn to rule it. I wonder what he can do if he's a 3 or 4 seed out there in the AFC.
I was thinking the same thing, Ace. If he doesn't get the 1 seed, this is gonna be the first time he has to play a road playoff game as a starting quarterback
Yeah,
in the
and
NFL.
I still it's still hard to take your money away from 15. I know the team's not what it used to be, this, that, and the other thing, but when you have Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs, reminds me of
Yeah,
Brady. I mean, he's probably
you're
gonna get
still
there.
taking. Yeah, I know what
Yeah.
you mean.
His schedule coming up does look kind of light. I think they do finish strong as well. But yeah, they definitely could miss out on that one spot this year.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Ready to get going into this week. I think this week will be telling, especially that Cowboys Eagles Sunday night football game.
I'm on these Dolphins. I have faith in these Dolphins. I think they're gonna make a little run down the stretch. They're fucking so much fun to
Tough. We
watch.
said it last week, though. We said it. They have 3 weeks of trash cans. Everybody's gonna get high as a kite on these Dolphins. And then their final 3 are against really
Yeah.
strong teams.
Would we
So
say they're gonna end though? We called the win last week. Obviously, it was against fucking
we,
Commanders.
we said 3 in a row, and then maybe
1-1
1 and 2.
against the Cowboys. They'll win or lose. They'll win 1 and lose 1 against the Cowboys and Ravens, and then win the last week against the Bills.
Yeah, that's a tall order, though. It's a tall
No,
order.
we
They've
said
already
two.
beaten the Bills once.
We said 2 losses in the
And that's
Cowboys, Ravens, or Bills game. 2 of those will be losses.
and they've yet to beat a plus 500 team, so it could be 3, especially with the Bills fighting for their
It
playoffs
could be
life.
3. It could definitely be
Yeah.
3.
But the last game is at home against the Bills. Give me the Dolphins at home, Week 18. Especially that could be
That's
for the
gonna.
1 seed.
But the
I mean,
Bills
dude,
could be trying to
nah.
backdoor into the playoffs at that point.
Bills are not getting there. Their schedule is actually so hard. I was looking at it earlier. It's crazy. The path would be insane.
What's their schedule?
Kind of a shame, but like kind of a blame to their earlier season woes because look at those other bubble teams in the
Chief,
AFC. They have so much more talent than them.
Chiefs in Kansas City, and then against the Cowboys. Then you got to go to the Chargers. Not an easy win. They'll probably get it done. And then you have the Patriots. You should win that. And then you got to go to Miami. They already have 6 losses. If you lose 7 games, you might not even be in
They're gonna go
contention.
3. They right on paper they could go 3-2 to end the year.
I think that they'll
That's a
go 3. I
good thing.
Yeah,
That's like their best. I think at the max they go 3-2. I think they'll go 3-2 as well, but I don't see them getting 4 wins here.
No, I think they could drop 2 in a row right here.
they could beat Kansas
Next
City
2.
this week.
I don't know.
If
I'm
they I
expecting
mean,
a
you gotta
big
be
bounce back.
you have
That's
you
Patrick Mahomes' son, but it's not playoff time, so I don't know if it matters yet.
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah,
Maybe
we'll
Pat
see.
M lets him win just so he can see him down the line.
Bills are also banged up, we gotta remember. That's why they're sitting at 6-6 too, but
Gotta blame
I don't know.
themselves. Injuries though,
Things are
Mackie,
different
great
over
points,
there.
Yes.
but I think they're one of the best bubble teams in the NFL or in the AFC.
For sure.
Alrighty, before we get into the Week 14 slate, we got a little talk about the MVP, the 3-star NFC quarterbacks Brock Purdy, Dak Prescott, Jalen Hurts, all on the top of this list here. I got Dak and Brock Purdy at plus 300, Jalen Hurts at plus 350 here on FanDuel. I think Mac even found Dak at plus 350. So I'm curious to hear what you guys think here on your ends coming out of the NFC, them leading the board there for the MVP conversation.
Do you guys think
Yeah.
any shot Tyreek Hill has a chance at winning this MVP?
I think if there's any year for him to do it, it's this year. Why not? I think Brock Purdy. Everyone ever since Brock Purdy's been listed at plus 300, everyone's kind of been like blown up his spot, and like all of his yards are check downs at just yards after carry. And his receivers
He's
are
not the
doing all the work
MVP.
for him.
He's not the. He's a
not
good
the
quarterback.
MVP.
He's not the MVP.
He's not. He's a system quarterback playing very good in a very good system. That's why he's putting up the numbers he is. I think Jalen Hurts is putting up pretty bad
Yeah,
numbers as well. I don't think
great
he's putting up
quarterback. Good
anywhere.
quarterback, but yeah, he's not. Purdy's not the MVP. I
Here's the thing.
my thing with Tyreek Hill is I think Tyreek should have the same, if not better, odds than Tua. I know it's a quarterback award. I know Tua's been doing great things this year. The stats are great. Without Tyreek Hill, that's not the Miami Dolphins aren't the Miami Dolphins this year. That offense is not scoring as many points as they are. I don't know what he had last week. What, 2 touchdowns, fucking 140 yards in the first
160,
half.
160.
I mean, they kind of shut him down in the second half, but like the game was over. So like
It was
he wasn't
over.
really playing, to get more yards and another touchdown. But I don't know. I think there's a serious chance Tyreek Hill wins the MVP, and it's, to me, not really worth the price to put in. You kind of miss the chance on a non-quarterback to win the MVP when preseason all these awards are. I don't know what the highest you could have got Tyreek at, but I mean, still, I've seen 19-1 on him to win. 16-1 is insane. I think there's a chance, but the one thing that's making me not want to bet it is if a wide receiver was going to win it, it was the year the Cup did the Triple Crown, but I don't know who won the MVP that year. Was that a Mahomes year? So they were just trying to suck Mahomes' dick. So that makes sense.
That was Mahomes' 50 passing touchdowns. So
All right, yeah. So Cup
that's
was
the
never going
difference
to win
between
that.
this year. That's because there's nobody like that.
Yeah,
I-
Dak
exactly.
Prescott has 26 passing
Boys,
touchdowns.
I
He
will
leads the
say
league.
this: you can go with all these stats and everything that we want to happen. I'll guarantee it's going to a quarterback.
Yeah, but like if you want to make the conversation, I think this is definitely the year. I think if Dak loses this game on Sunday, I think that it's wide open. But
I think you're
it-
wasting your breath talking about a wide receiver winning an MVP, in my opinion.
I think that's crazy. I mean, look at what he's doing for the team. In
No, I
terms
agree
of
with
like
every
actual,
point. I agree with every point you bring up. I just don't see it happening in the NFL.
I mean, I agree, but there's a reason that he's climbing up the board this fast.
Yeah, I think it's going to come down to whoever that top quarterback really is come down the stretch. Tua and the Dolphins finish with that high record. Lamar and the Ravens. Jalen Hurts has a strong stretch, beats the Cowboys in Dallas. Dak Prescott rolls on, maybe wins the division. I think one of those guys is going to end up with the MVP award.
I think the only quarterbacks that have value are Dak and Jalen Hurts, personally.
I don't think Jalen Hurts has any sort of a resume to be MVP.
If they have the
whatsoever.
best record, like he said, if they have the best record, he's going to win it. They want to give it to him.
I mean, he throws for 150 yards and 0 touchdowns and throws an interception, and his odds jump like crazy to 250. It's like he's not doing much. He's really not. The way he has 11 touchdowns this year, 11 rushing touchdowns, 33 combined yards.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott has 2 rushing touchdowns for 29 yards.
I think that these ending stretches that some of these teams we talked about are going to be very telling. Tua Tagovailoa has a great opportunity. If they can have a positive end to the season, end as a 1 or a 2 seed, especially that 3-game stretch they have at the end of the year, I wouldn't be surprised if he takes home that award, especially as a comeback player feeding into it. I would like to see a wide receiver like you guys. I would like to. I just don't think it's going to happen, especially with the extra game added. We saw guys with crazy stat lines years ago, and they still never got it. I don't think there's any reason for it to change. And let's not forget, it's the NFL. I don't think they're promoting Tyreek Hill as the MVP with his background, personally.
I think that the NFL would give it to Tyreek before they gave it to Tua.
I agree.
It's a quarterback award. Sadly, but
I don't know. It's
it's
definitely you
true.
definitely got to raise the
History doesn't
question.
lie.
Will this,
History doesn't
Mackie?
lie.
I'll ask you another question since you kind of believe in it. Is this the highest odds is this the lowest odds you're going to get Tyreek Hill at to win this MVP award?
No, I don't think so. I think that we're gonna see Brock Purdy's odds fall off a little bit because everyone's bringing it to the knowledge of like what kind of system he's been in and how he's getting all of his yards and everything. And I think that at the end of the day, when you look at Jalen Hurts' stats, they aren't that impressive. What he's doing is not that. I mean, granted, he's 10-2, so that's the only thing you got. At the end of the day, you do got to look at that. But his stats are not that impressive at the end of the day. And if Dak isn't finding ways to win football games, you got to take him out of the question as well. So then you're sitting there and you have to think: is this guy who's about to put up 2,000 yards, 25 touchdowns? I don't even know what the hell he's doing, but you got to think: is he the most valuable player in the league? And when you look
Yes,
at
but
that
they
team,
won't give it to him.
if the
you're
door's wide
realistic, if
open,
you're realistic, they're not giving it to
if
a
if the door is
quarterback.
wide open, I think that they can. I think
I
think
think they
if
should
things work
too, but
out correctly.
I
I'm
do think they should, but I don't think it will happen
I'm
in
glad that
the
I
next 5
remember, or
years.
someone remembered that the Cooper Cup Triple Crown year was Mahomes' 50 touchdown, because that was what was making me steer away from this a lot more.
Well,
Now I'm kind of leaning into it a little bit.
I'll believe it
let's
when
look
I
that
see it.
up.
I just want to see. I hope one day they give it to a non QB, but I just feel like it's such a quarterback award. They're not changing the narrative.
It is a quarterback award, but Heisman's also a quarterback award, and we've seen players not playing quarterback win that award. I mean, it happens here and there. It's definitely a quarterback award, but
How
there's
long's it been since a
things
non
change.
QB won it?
I don't think ever. Am I crazy saying that? I don't think ever.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Huff.
Look it up.
I don't know if any a
Did
player
AP win it?
Let me see.
when he ran for what 2000? No.
No, that was Aaron Rodgers MVP when Cooper Cup got the Triple Crown.
Yeah, exactly. It's a quarterback award, dude. I know you can
It's
come up with every
all right, all right.
stat,
Yeah, it
every
says running.
reason.
It says they have. It says running back. If you Google, has any other player than a quarterback ever won the NFL MVP award? Don't believe everything you read on the internet, so don't quote me on this. But according to Google, the NFL MVP award is the most prestigious individual accolade up for grabs in the league each year. Running backs, defensive players, even a kicker have won the NFL MVP, even though the modern era is an award dominated by star quarterbacks.
I'll tell you guys what,
I'm
all of
gonna
our
look up what
listeners, if
running
anybody
backs.
is about to wager a wide receiver to win the MVP, let me know. I'll take your bet and I'll hold it for you. Maybe place it for you. Probably not. I'll just hold it for when it goes to a quarterback. Sad,
You
but
gotta be
sad truth.
optimistic, Case. You
Sad
gotta be
truth, though. Sad truth, though. Sad truth.
You
Adrian
gotta be
Peterson, 2012
optimistic.
MVP.
I told you AP won it. I fucking knew it.
LaDainian Tomlinson, LaDainian
In
Tomlinson,
'07.
2006. Sean Alexander, 2005. Marshall Falk,
Yeah, you
2000.
guys are.
So all running backs and QBs then.
They all probably had 2,000 yards or up there and put up those kind of
AP
numbers.
at
In
2000.
16 games. In 16 games. We have to remember there's a game in here now that inflates stats a bit.
All right, so if he gets 2,100, 2,200,
Maybe, but
basically,
I don't see it.
they should just look at it yards per game. It should just go yards per game. Forget the extra game. I know they get an extra game now. It should be yards per game.
I'll tell you a better bet. Take Tyreek Hill to be Offensive Player of the Year.
What is he, minus 400?
You gotta also look at CMC as well. I mean, the numbers he's putting up are pretty crazy too.
Yeah. Imagine if he kept that touchdown streak going all year. It would have been his easy. Or at least I would hope. But I still
Yeah, he has
think
like
it's too big
18
for me.
touchdowns this year already.
All right, yeah, that's good. Let's get into this slate.
Alrighty, boys. Time for some week 14 here. Let's start off early Thursday night football here. Patriots and Steelers in Pittsburgh. The Steelers are the favorite here. 6 points for them, minus 280 on the money line, total 30.5. No Kenny Pickett this week. He's out. I got some trends that focus on that. Under 11-1 in the Steelers' last 12 divisional games. Under is 10-2 in the Steelers' last 12 games overall. Patriots 1-12 straight up and against the spread in their last 13 games as the underdog. 2-14 against the spread in their last 16. So again, Steelers without Pickett, going to be a tough one for them. What are we thinking coming out of this one, Ace? You want to get us rolling?
Yeah, I think that a 6-0 game last week is a lot of points compared to what we're going to see Thursday night. I mean, Huff and I were all over that under in the Patriots game last week. I think he threw someone threw the Chargers money line leg in our parlay. Um, so good job on that. I know we hit that too, so that's pretty clutch. But yeah, I'd take the Steelers again in the money line and the under. I can't trust any points because this Patriots defense is playing lights out. I know Mackie saw the stat that all of us Patriots fans have been seeing. It's like they give up 10 points a game and lose every single time. It's nuts. Um, so they're just gonna turn the ball over on offense, just punt it, run, punt. They're trying to lose here. It's not bad. Hopefully, we get to see Bailey Zappi out there and they can continue that trend. Um, I think the under is the best play here. I think both offenses will struggle to find points in this one. Mackie, let me know what you think.
Yeah, this under could be 13 and I'd still take it. I mean, this Patriots team week in and week out, they're really not even trying to score points. Last week, they gave up 6 points defensively and didn't cover a spread, a 4.5 point spread. That's just ridiculous that you can't put a point up on the board. But I was telling Huff earlier that I could see another donut for you guys this week. So I don't care how low this under is, I'm still gonna take it. I'm probably gonna take the first half as well. No points in this game, all defense. Thursday night football. It's just one of those games. One of them you gotta really tape your eyes open to watch.
Yeah,
Especially the Steelers must win spot here. I mean, I I kind of called that trap game last
See,
week. I stayed away because they're the Steelers. You know, you can never. I don't like betting against them ever, even if they're in a great spot, or a terrible spot. I mean, but I kind of saw that when coming, still stayed away, and the Cardinals handled them pretty easily in their own stadium, which is nuts to see. But we've all been on Kyler since he came back. We're all pretty high on him. But yeah, the Patriots aren't going to do anything. No Ramondre Stevenson, no Mac Jones, no O line. There's no receivers. I think it's Devontae Parker, Tyquan Thornton, and Juju running routes out there. So I think you're safe to go with that Patriots team total. I feel like it could be like 8.5, 9.5 Patriots team total this week.
I was kind of on the same page with Mackie whenever you were saying the first half. The first half under right now is set at 15.5. That is definitely the lowest first half under I've ever taken in my life, and I'm probably going to go with it. I think the game
I'm gonna take
honestly
all I'm gonna take an alternate, like 6.5.
just for 2 field goals. I was going to say, I like the first half under. I do think the game goes under 30.5. That's insanely low, but wouldn't be surprised if it hits. I'm probably going to go with a Boswell over 1.5 field goals prop in this game.
Alrighty, after some technical difficulties, let's jump into this Sunday here of Week 14. First at 1 o'clock, the Rams and the Ravens. In Baltimore, the Ravens are the favorite here, 7.5 points for them, minus 330 on the money line. 40.5 is the total. And I got a couple trends here. The total has gone under in 10 out of the Rams' last 15 games on the road. Rams are 8-15 straight up in their last 23 games. Baltimore 6-1 straight up in their last 7. What are you guys thinking here coming into this first 1 o'clock game as we jump through Week 14?
I think this is going to be a sick matchup. I really do.
You do?
Yeah,
Oh, I'm not. I don't love this game.
What, you think the Ravens pull the classic murder the NFC team at home like they did to the Lions and the Seahawks?
That's exactly what I think is gonna happen. I think the Ravens roll this game, especially against the Rams underdeveloped defense. I think that Lamar Jackson eats this game. Their defense is gonna maul this Rams offensive line. This Rams offensive line is bottom 5 in the NFL. I think this pass rush is gonna be all over Matt Stafford all game. He's not gonna be able to get a lot out. Gonna see a lot of short routes from Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp, but I think this is gonna be another murder rape from the Ravens.
Yeah, I'm the more you say that, I'm kind of right there with you. But the thing is, well, first off, is Nakua healthy? Is
Yeah, I
Cup
think he's good.
healthy? Like, if they're playing, I do think they have a decent matchup on that side of the ball because their strength is through the air, and that's the one spot the Ravens lack, in my opinion, is in their secondary. Even though there's been some names that have stepped up with the departure of Marcus Peters others. But I think Kyron Williams really turned into his own as well. But I'm probably going to end up taking the Ravens with the spread on the card. Love him as a money line piece, but I don't know. I think it goes over this game for sure.
I'm on the Ravens here. I like the Ravens. Like you said, I think they win the game. I'll probably end up going with them on the points. I don't think this is going to be a very exciting game at all. I think the Rams on the East Coast tend to come over and struggle a little bit, not put up many points. I like the Ravens in a rout.
The only thing is, like, this Rams team is right in the thick of the playoff race. They just handled the Browns defense. I know, and Joe Flacco stepped in, looked good. We'll get to that, but that Browns defense, it's better than the Ravens defense. So maybe they could have
Very
some
on
success.
par.
I know they're going to M&T Bank though, so it's a whole different story. But Sean McVay will have them ready. I don't think they get blown out as bad as the Lions and the Seahawks, but I do see the Ravens covering here. They're gonna put up a lot.
Yeah, you're right, actually. They did kinda go in and just handle a pretty good defense in the Browns. So maybe, maybe I could be a little off about that, but I maybe the Rams just have a little more bit of on offense, but I think the Ravens get theirs on offense as well. Maybe an over here, it's kind of a low over under 40.5. Um, I still think the Ravens kinda take care of business. It's what they do against these teams like these. I mean, the Browns don't do that, so, um yeah, give me Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson could maybe make a good case for MVP in this game too.
Yeah, literally, you're not wrong with that, and especially with without Mark Andrews, we've seen Odell Beckham Jr. stepping up. We've seen Zay Flowers really coming into his own, one of the top rookie receivers. Gus Edwards and Keaton Mitchell, that guy's came out of nowhere. He's like a Devin a Chain type running back. They have a lot of depth on that side. I love that you said 40.5. I didn't hear it when Jesse initially said it. I actually love that over this week, but I'll have a play on this game. I bet you'll be on my card somehow. Not sure exactly, but shout out Big Hoss. I'll go with the Ravens spread here.
Good stuff there, boys. Here, another 1 o'clock game that we're going to get into. The Carolina Panthers, New Orleans Saints in New Orleans. The Saints, the favorite here, -5.5, money line -210, total 37.5. Yeah, not a very exciting game here. All the trends pointing at the under. The total has gone under in the last 5 games between these clubs, as well as under in 5 out of the last 6 games for the Panthers. Huff, why don't you get us started here? Another 1 o'clock game for us to get through.
Yeah, I like the Panthers here in this spot. Road dog. I'm gonna take them. I like the money line. I think they win the game. It's a juicy +196. I'm seeing on MGM right now. A nice money line value here on the Panthers. Get their second win. Ace, your Patriots could possibly start to slide into talks of a 1 spot if they win this big divisional game here. Saints are dead. There's talks. Obviously, Derek Carr might not be playing this game. That could be a very good thing for for the Saints, if you ask me. Being a brutal offense. They're very hard to watch. This is coming from someone that was very high on this team coming into this year. I've totally jumped ship. I'm fading the Saints every single week to end the season. Give me the Panthers on the money line. I like the under 37.5 as well. I think the Panthers win a close game, 17-16 Panthers in the dome.
That sounds exactly like a Saints score. Huff, I almost said it before you said Panthers money. I was gonna be like, who's gonna be the guy that's like, I've got the Saints with the spread. It's like
I hate the
I see
fucking
the
Saints.
Saints.
I
I
hate them
see
now.
the Saints winning this game. They've burnt me too much this year. They looked like dog shit to start the game last week, but then they looked really good in the second half. So I don't know. I don't think the Panthers have much to play for. I think that's one of the most brutal teams. Would love for them to win for my Patriots' sake. I'm gonna go with the Saints on the money line here, but I'm not touching this game with a 10-foot pole. Maybe a Kamara touchdown. It's a weak defense. He got in last week, and we know how much he gets the ball. Taysom Hill getting work too, but let's not forget these Saints are fighting for the division. So I don't
I
think
was
they
gonna say
lose
that's the
this one.
Panthers. That's the motive to win this game. Is you win this game, it's going to be very hard for the Saints to win the division.
Exactly. That's why I like the Saints here. If you're going with a pick 'em, like Mackie was saying earlier, but I'm not putting any of these on my card. Mackie, what about you?
Yeah, I agree. I'm not gonna be touching this game. Very shitty game. Saints are dead, like Huff said. Lost 3 straight after being 5-4 in a wide open division. I mean, the division's still kind of wide open, but they just put themselves in a shitty situation. But when you have a player like Alvin Kamara on offense, who just finds his way into the end zone once, twice, 3 times a game, it's crazy what he can do on offense. So it's hard going up against a 1-11 team. He's probably gonna do some damage, but I mean, Saints, you can't put your money on them. You cannot touch them. Um, not playing good football. You have Jameis at the quarterback. Um, yeah, I don't have a play on this one.
I'll tell you what, last week I would have carded that Alvin Kamara touchdown. He did get in. But like Huff said, 17-16 is his projection, and we've said it so many times. Saints wins games 19-16. There's
I
so
want to
few
change that
points.
to 17-15 because that would imply the Saints have to score a touchdown.
Maybe that's
16.
scoreagami too, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I can't card a Kamara touchdown just because there's not enough points to go around the board. I was so high on it last week, and he did score, and that game started blowing up at the end. But normal Saints games, it's such a struggle for anybody to get in, so it's tough for me to take the
Ace,
prop
2 weeks
there.
ago when we took it against the Falcons, he didn't sniff the fucking goal line. It was so frustrating. I watched that whole game. It was
Yeah,
so annoying.
how frustrating is every Saints game to watch this year? It's how it
Dude,
feels the
I
whole
believe me,
season.
I'm done with them. Last week I took the Lions. Dude, at halftime I was like, this is going to be a rout. Exactly what me and Ace said. We did not say we said if it's either Lions cover or the Saints win. It was a little closer than we anticipated. Lions cover.
But they covered, yeah. I mean, by the skin of their teeth too. We didn't think they'd hang around like that, but that was kind of a
They
I
left
don't
the
know.
back
So I
door
mean,
open major, but
yeah.
they just couldn't get that
Then
extra half
slammed it in their
point.
faces.
But the Lions, great teams cover, you know? So, hey. All right, let's get out of this NFC South. I know we got another one coming up. I think that one's a better matchup at least.
Yeah, next game here we have the Colts and the Bengals in Cincinnati. Colts favorite here, just 1.5 points. Their money line -112. Bengals money line -104. Total at 39.5. No trends for me here on this one. Mackie, you want to get us rolling on this one?
Yeah, I actually really like this game. I like the Bengals a lot here, but I really like the over 39.5. I have a lot of faith in Gardner Minshew actually playing. He's been playing really well. He played really well last week. In overtime, down 3, he had to go down. He led a touchdown drive, which is um, really big time of him. You don't see players like that come in off the bench. With Anthony Richardson coming out and just take over like they are. But the Colts are sitting at 7-5. Never thought they would be sitting there. I think both teams put up points. Jake Browning looked great last week. I think both quarterbacks who are a little undervalued are gonna really sling the football. Colts, I like their defense. It's kind of been getting lit up recently. Bengals coming off kind of a shelling as well, even though they won. I like over 39. I think both offenses roll.
Yeah, Mackie, the more you talk about it, the more I actually like that over. Just because of the recent history. But I want to talk about that Gardner Minshew point you brought up. It's not like he's some guy like Jake Browning coming off the bench that hasn't played before. He's a former starting quarterback with pretty solid success in the NFL throughout his career. Honestly, I'd like to see his career record. I bet you it's positive actually. Um, so not surprised behind that O line with the weapons. The weapons they have out there in Indianapolis are actually great. The receiving core with Pittman, Downs and Pierce. It's a three-headed snake of young underrated guys. But I think the Jake Browning performance from last night was more of a Monday night fluke than anything. And plus, they're in those white jerseys. They're not going to be wearing those on Sunday. I like the Colts to cover here. I think they will handedly. I think Jake Browning struggles mightily. I don't see him repeating that success of any kind, even though he does have the weapons to do so. Give me the Colts here, and I do like Mackey's play of the over.
I'm on the same side as Ace. I like the Colts here. I think the Colts are making a push for this playoff spot. Like you said, they're 7-5. They get a tough road game this week. I know looked a lot tougher on the schedule a couple weeks ago when Joe Burrow's in the lineup for the Bengals. I kind of agree with what you said about the Jake Browning on the Monday night. Big game, first start, kind of live up to the expectations. I think he comes back down to earth a little bit this week, Sunday at 1 o'clock against a Colts team that's going for the playoffs. I know the Jags were too. They lose Trevor Lawrence late in that game. Bengals come out with a win. I think they get a loss this week at home against the Colts. I'll hop on your guys over, but I probably won't card it. Give me the Colts to win this game and make a serious push for the playoffs with a game against my Steelers next week.
I think that you guys are wild for saying that was a fluke from Jake Browning. I think the way he was playing, you could tell when a quarterback's comfortable and playing really good football, and when it's a fluke. He was comfortable in the pocket. He was moving outside the pocket. He was making throws on the run. 32 for 37 for 354 yards. There's nothing fluke about that, in my opinion. I think he continues his success. Obviously, he's not going to do that every game. That's a stellar game. 350 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. Can't ask that every single game. He's not going to go out there and shit the bed. I think this is the quarterback you can trust coming in behind Joe Burrow and winning a few games and winning a game like this. This is a huge game. I think that he can kind of maybe get it done.
Yeah, Mackie. I mean, maybe it could also be some of those weapons he has alongside him. I mean, he's going to have them again this week, so that would be a good chance for him to have success once again. That's why I like the over here. I mean, when you're throwing the Jamar Chase, that T Higgins route that really won them the game on third and long when he shook who was that on the outside? Campbell, I believe it was, when he shook him on the outside and picked up that crucial first down to set up the field goal. I mean, it's not that hard to create magic, especially with Mixon toting the rock. Zach Taylor, great underrated coach too, in my opinion. But other than that, I mean, these guys are playing for their job. They're playing for their future career too. So I'd love to see these backups out here balling. But give me Minshew mania. I think he's got to have a starting job after this year, right?
He'll definitely get another chance, I think.
I don't think Minshew is as good as you make him out to be either. I mean, I looked it up also. His record's 20-24, which isn't bad. I mean, you don't expect him to come in and lose. You can expect a win, but I mean, he's not somebody that you would expect to come in and turn a team like the Colts around to a 7-5 record. I think we all had this team missing the playoffs this year, and they're definitely on the inside looking to stay there now too.
Yeah, I think
I
this
was
will be more exciting than we think for sure. That's why I like the over here.
Yeah, I was high on this team coming into this year because I wanted to see the Richardson and Taylor duo. Now, obviously, neither of them there, and they're just right in the thick of the playoff hunt. I just think Bengals come home, big prime time win. I think you come home Sunday at 1 o'clock, where the even really kind of a bigger matchup for them on their home field, where you're expected to win this game and to pick them, or I mean, I guess more closely favored. You're not an 8.5, 9.5 point underdog. I like the Colts in this matchup.
Yeah, and my last point on this game, much more than we thought we'd talk about a Minshew Browning matchup, but it has big implications with both of them sitting one in a playoff spot, one on the outside looking in. Um, I think Mackey too. I don't see that success repeated. I don't think even anywhere near it. Just there was no script or film on this guy. Now we kind of know what he has. He's given us a game under his belt, so I expect defenses to play him a bit tighter. I don't think he's better than Minshew, honestly. But we'll see this week. That's going to be an interesting storyline.
Yeah,
For a
definitely.
game I probably won't watch, yeah, I
I'll
agree.
probably watch this game. I like to watch him.
We'll see it on the
It'll be
red zone.
cool
I
to
bet
see
you
these two quarterbacks go at
Michael
it.
Pittman, long touchdown. Jamar, maybe another long one. I think there's going to be some broken plays in this one. The QBs will combine for 3 TDs, at least the two of them.
Alrighty, moving through the 1 o'clock slate. The next game up, Jacksonville Jaguars at the Cleveland Browns. Browns the favorite here at home, -3. Their money line -174. Total at 30.5. Trends I got here. The Jags are 5-0 straight up and against the spread in their last 5 games on the road. The total has gone under in 8 out of Cleveland's last 9 games at home, but they're 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 at home. What are we thinking here coming out of this 1 o'clock game? Go for it, Ace. What are you thinking?
Mackie, do you respect Joe Flacco a little bit more now?
Yeah, definitely. I underestimated him a bit, but I mean, it wasn't like he went out there and like lit the lamp. He played well.
He had a good game though. I think he threw for over 250, a couple of touchdowns, kept them relevant. He was putting good balls with low practice reps. That's the other reason that I was
He
so
al-
surprised. In his
he
success.
he he also got to play the Rams defense, and they still
Yeah,
lost by like
great
25.
point
So
too. Very suspect defense, but he was throwing some good balls. I don't know if you saw any clips. I saw a lot on the red zone. Amari Cooper, he was finding him early and often, and keeping the chains moving, just taking what the defense gave him. I expect it to be a defensive bout here this time, but Huff, I know you're dying, digging on another backup quarterback duel. Let me know what you got here for this one.
Yeah, I obviously with Bethard coming in for Jacksonville, I'm not going to be jumping on the Jags here. I like the Browns to cover this spread at home. It's a tight 3 point spread. I think it's going to be very low scoring and unentertaining. You might see both running backs for the teams get in if Jacksonville can even manage to get into the red zone. I like ETN to get in the end zone again, but Jerome Ford's been a touchdown machine for Cleveland. Mackie, I know you took them on the spread last week in SoFi. I couldn't get it done for you late. I like the Browns to cover the number this week on their home field. I think it's an ugly 17-13, 17, somewhere in there. They win by 4 and you get it by the point. I'm going to go with the Browns minus the 3 points.
Are you gonna card that, Huff? Are you confident in it?
I am kind of confident. I don't know if I'll actually card it closer to Sunday, but I mean, I think the 3 points at home. I think it's a low scoring game. I think Cleveland scores the first touchdown, and I don't think there's going to be many touchdowns in this game. I'll take the Browns on the home field. I think just take the better defense in this matchup.
Yeah, you're counting on the defense in the low scoring matchup. The only thing is that Jaguars defense, they looked terrible last week. I think that's an outlier. They're actually pretty good and they're going to step up more without T Law. But
Trevor
we look
Lawrence
at
isn't out yet.
he's going to be.
He's
He's got a
fresh.
high ankle
He's
sprain and they have a long playoff push ahead of him, I think.
Yeah, but they just lost last week. I mean, this isn't a game that you can just throw away. The Texans
No,
are
you're
on
not
their
wrong.
ass.
He's your franchise QB though. I don't think they rush him back this week.
I think if he can play, he's going to play this week. They're not going to leave him out. Just
Really? I mean, we saw this earlier this year when he had that knee brace and he still played and he dealt. The fact that he was able to walk off the field without a cart last night, and that was kind of crazy. They had him walking that far. Um, the fact that he was able,
Did you see the meme? It was like the
yeah,
Jaguars could afford to have a pool in their stadium, but not a golf cart to take
yeah,
their fucking quarterback.
or like the guy that was trying to back up the car, like the guy with the cart trying to get
The
out.
Austin Powers meme. He's like
Yeah,
trying to get around.
free plug here. We're not affiliated. Shout out NFL memes. Huff and I die over those. I think we send it multiple times a week. Best parody account you can follow out there. But yeah, I don't think he's gonna play this week. I would personally sit him out, even if he's a little banged up. Just short week, coming off of Monday Night Football. But the things I'm looking at in this one, I think I lean the Jags money line. Don't think I'll play it just because Travis Etienne has been a dog lately. CJ Beathard, he's played and that Niners team and been pretty decent in the NFL before, but I like Pedersen as a coach, better head coach. better running back, better weapons on the outside. We saw Engram really popping off with Beathard, so maybe that's a good prop to look at. But I'm not going to card one of these sides, but I do lean the Jags to get this one done. Not high on the weapons that the Browns have.
Yeah, I'm with you on the Jags as well. I'm not probably not gonna have a play on this one, but if I had to cap it, I'm not too worried about CJ Beathard if Trevor Lawrence doesn't play. I mean, it's definitely gonna be a low scoring game, a lot of defense in this game, and it's just Joe Flacco against CJ Beathard at that point. I like Jags team overall more than the Browns. Like you said, Travis Etienne should have a pretty good game. He's been going off recently, and they have the weapons over there in Jacksonville. So if you could just get somebody open, make a few big plays, I think it'll be enough.
Good stuff on that one, boys. Heading down south here, Bucks and Falcons in Atlanta. Atlanta the favorite here, 2.5 points for them. Minus 136 on the money line. Bucks plus 116. Total 39.5. Trends I have here: the total has gone over in 6 out of Tampa Bay's last 7 games when playing on the road against Atlanta. Tampa Bay 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 on the road. Atlanta 6-2 straight up in their last 8 at home.
I
Pretty
like the
interesting
Falcons.
trends there. What are you thinking, Huff? Sorry.
I like the Falcons here. I was on them last week. I jumped ship from the Saints. I'm on the Falcons. Falcons are going to win this division. This is a huge game for them this week at home against a division rival that's up against also for the division. Those 3 teams are all in a little bit of a race. I already said I think the Saints are out of it. And once the Falcons beat the Bucks this week, I think it's going to be the Falcons division to lose. Not necessarily a good team. Are going to be hard for them to lose it. But I think the Falcons come out with a big win here at home. Bijan Robinson's going to get in the end zone. I took him last week. He did not get in. I took the Falcons money line. I mean, in a 13-8 game, I don't even think they fucking scored a touchdown. Pruitt got the first one. Then you knew there was nothing else after that. But I'm going to go with the Falcons here. Cover the number at home, minus 2.5. I'm on Atlanta. I'll probably regret it come Sunday. Let me know why you guys are on Tampa Bay.
I'm not on Tampa. Ace, you're muted.
I'm on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because they're winning this division. They have the best players in this division, too, on the offensive side of the ball, I think. We saw Chris Godwin really coming back to life. Mike Evans, contract year. Guy keeps cementing himself in that top 10 receiver realm, in my opinion. He's uncoverable, and he's just going off week after week. I don't know if you guys saw last week that long touchdown he had. That was crazy. And then Rashad White, I was talking about ETN and Kenneth Walker as the top slept on running backs. Could be Rashad White. Leads the league in missed tackles forced. Guy finds the end zone every week, putting up over 100. We're in a good part of the Baker cycle for him to grab another win right here. And then that defense, we know how good they can be at times. So I like the veteran team. I know it's tough going into Atlanta because Desmond Ritter hates losing at home. But I think this game's too important. I think the Saints could drop one to the Panthers, like Huff was alluding to earlier, in which case the Bucks can take this division. I think this is a crucial game. Give me the veteran team in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I don't think the Falcons are ready yet.
I'm with you. I'm with Huff here on this one. I'm gonna go with the Atlanta Falcons at home. I mean, this division is just so shitty. I mean, the Bucks got a nice win last week, but they dropped 4 straight before that. Not really playing the best football. The defense is getting exposed as well. That defense that we've talked highly about, the veteran defense, hasn't been playing the best.
Didn't they
Um,
play the Panthers last week?
who did?
The
The
Bucks.
Bucks? I don't know. They won.
Yeah, I mean, the Panthers have one win. And they pushed. They couldn't even cover a 3-point spread. They pushed. What
They
makes you
did
think they're
push.
going to go into
Push.
Atlanta and win this game?
They looked good in their push, though. They did. It was a backdoor cover, too. I mean, backdoor
Yeah, I don't
push.
think the Bucks have much going except for Mike Evans, and Mike Evans does what he wants every week. But
He
I don't
does.
know. I don't think that they have enough to win this division, and I think the Falcons. I don't think the Saints are going to lose to the Panthers, but I do think the Falcons need to keep this pace going and win this game as well for that division lead.
I know the Falcons have played the Jets and the Saints in the past 2 weeks, but they haven't let up a touchdown the past 2 games. Not a big deal. It's a pretty good stat.
Jets and the Saints said enough.
I
Pretty good.
might end up carding the Bucks again. They burnt me with that CJ Stroud week a few weeks back, but that Texans team's good. They kind of fucked me last week with that -3, but I like them right here this week. I think they're gonna win. Maybe I'll just do a Mike Evans prop though, because that guy's just fucking great, like Mackie said. So I'm looking at the Bucks. I'm looking at Mike Evans. I can't see myself betting on this Falcons team in this spot.
Alrighty, boys, here. Another game here in the 1 o'clock slate. The Detroit Lions, Chicago Bears in Chicago. Lions, the favorite here in Chicago. -3 for them. -168 on the money line. 40.5 is the total. Trends I got here: Detroit 6-1 straight up and against the spread in their last 7 games on the road. Total has gone under in 4 out of Chicago's last 5 games. Chicago 4-2 against the spread in their last 6.
What is this line?
It makes no sense. I'm gonna bite the trap. Give me the Lions -3. I don't think the Bears. I don't think the Bears put up a fight like they did when the game was in Detroit a couple of weeks ago. I know the Lions have looked sketchy. They let the Saints come back last week. I had the Lions minus the 4.5. They win by 5. I should not have had to sweat that game out in the fourth quarter the way I did. But being up 21-0, their defense is going to let anyone in the game. Bears have a great defense. Everyone loves to overlook the Bears defense. I think it could stumble the Lions a little bit. But getting only -3, give me the Lions. They've been covering the number as road favorites all year. They're the best team with a spread of -3 or better or less this year. I should say
Love
that.
that stat.
I'm going to go with the Lions -3.
Yeah, you know what's scary, Huff, is I feel like the rest of America is going to be right there with you.
I
The
agree.
splits are
I
going to
said I'll bite
fuck
the.
me
This
over.
is the
I'll
game. I'm
bite
just
it.
biting the trap.
I
I'll
know.
bite
bite
it.
it
I think
too.
we're all gonna do it. We're all gonna bite a piece of the pie, and hopefully it tastes good. I mean, I'm gonna do it too. I saw this line. I looked early in the week, and I was all over that -3. I mean, David Montgomery and Jameer Gibbs, they've been firing on all cylinders. Amon-Ra St. Brown, one of the best receivers in the league, and obviously Sam Laporta
Bears
too.
best rushing defense in the NFL. Bears are the best rushing defense in the NFL.
It's a good matchup. It's going to make me stay away from any props. They have all those names they paid for in the offseason, the Bears do. But I just don't see any chance they win this game and spoil the Detroit Lions. I think they got their big win on Monday Night Football. Similar to the Jake Browning scenario, I think these teams play up for that primetime game. In a mid-Sunday game, I'm going with the Lions here. I think they put up way too many points. I don't think it's going to be like the Vikings thing where they're waiting until the third quarter to score touchdowns and they're trading field goals. If you're trading field goals, they're going to be putting up 6s on the other side from Detroit. So you got to answer it with some points, and they're not going to be able to do that. Hammering the Lions -3. I'm not a big Lions guy. Haven't been on them much this year. I know they're a good team and exciting, but give me the Lions this week. I think that's a lot.
Yeah, I'm falling for the trap. I really don't care. I mean, Vegas has been getting killed all season on plays like
Yeah,
these.
exactly.
You might actually see 95% of the money on Detroit this week. I'm not even kidding.
I
But
see 62 right now. That's nothing crazy at all.
FanDuel showing 69.
what is going on? I don't understand. We're missing something. I'm taking the Lions
Jared Goff
-3.
had a
I'm
bad
hammering
game
it.
last week. CBS is saying 74% of the money's on the Bears +3. I like that. Give me the Lions minus the 3 points.
Interesting.
I don't want to talk about it anymore. It's freaking me out.
Alrighty, our final 1:00 game here: Houston Texans, New York Jets in New York. Texans are the favorite here, 5.5 points for them, -240 on the money line. Total 32.5. No trends for me here on this final 1:00 game here in Week 14. Huff, why don't you get us rolling here on this one?
Yeah, another team that I've been fading the past few weeks is the New York Jets. I'm going to do it again here. CJ Stroud and the Texans are going to. I didn't take the Broncos last week. I said they were going to lose at home. They pick up a nice win over my Denver Broncos, Russ and my Broncos. But I think the Texans get a win here, road win in MetLife, 1:00 on a Sunday. Give me the Texans. I'm gonna say the Saints. Give me the Texans minus the points. The Jets obviously putting in Trevor Siemian on Sunday or whenever the fuck their game was to provide a spark might be one of
Why
the
did they
most
wait to
pathetic
do
things I've
this?
ever heard by an NFL coach. Dude, why would you do that? Like, just put Zach
What?
Wilson in.
No, they did. They
Zach,
asked him to, and he doesn't want to
Zach
play.
Wilson doesn't want to go in.
That team's a dumpster fire. Hammer. Texans -5.
Imagine you were like, "Hey, Zach Wilson, you want to go in?" You're Robert Saleh. He's like, "Nah." It's like, all right,
I'm pretty sure
you're never start stepping foot on the field for my team again. Zach
Robert
Wilson.
Salah doesn't make any fucking decisions anyway. He's a puppet, and
I don't think he's allowed to.
I'm pretty sure Aaron Rodgers told Zach Wilson, like, you don't want to fucking play. Don't go out there and play. Like, they benched you for this idiot, and now they want to go right back to you. I get
Now you
it. I
say that, I can
understand
see
it. But Zach Wilson, you have no ground to stand on. I mean,
You're playing for a job.
You
You're
might
playing for a job.
never play another step of football in the NFL ever again. You're going to turn one down right now. I don't understand that at all. But it's also a shitty situation. You're going to go in there and you're going to get lit up and you're going to look even worse regardless. So you really want to go out there and do that to yourself? Not really. I understand it. I get it. But like, it's a lose-lose situation.
I am happy they're bringing Semyon. I think they waited too long. They went out and got him, not Tim Boyle. When people were mad that Wilson was still starting early on when Rodgers was hurt. Remember they brought in Semyon? We've seen him before play with the Broncos. I think someone else. But I don't think he can be worse than Tim Boyle. That guy's brutal. Zach Wilson not been playing well in the NFL. I like the Semyon move here. I think that might spark him a bit, but I'm not staying away from CJ Stroud. Love Stroud and the Texans here this week.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm gonna go with the Texans as well. I don't really have much explanation, but Jets suck. They're like like you said, Huff, they're a dumpster fire. So move on from this game. It's
Wait,
terrible.
last thing though, Hoff, you're taking the Texans with the points? Gonna be sweaty though. That defense is real.
And no Tank Dell now.
Good point. I forgot about that. Damian Pierce came back though. He looked like a valid running back, which was nice to see. So you get another
Nico
dimension to the
Collins looks
offense.
like he's just like, fuck that. It wasn't Tank Dell that was doing that good. It's CJ that's putting him open. But Nico Collins looked like a great fucking fill in last week. I mean, you want to call him a
He
fill in,
did.
but
He did the few weeks ago too. He looked like a top receiver in the NFL. I saw a lot of people that think he's one of the next big receivers. And besides Nico Collins, I think they also have another guy out
there's
there.
one more
Who is
guy. I
it?
can't think of his
They
name.
have Robert Woods. They have Nico Collins, Tank Dellum. There's one more. My name's slipping my mind.
Etchy.
No, they have Mechie. I thought they had another one
They
though.
do have John Mechie as well.
I thought
I
there was
know.
another one.
I can't think of who you're talking about. They also have Dalton Schultz, but that's not who you're thinking of.
No, Nico Collins and there's another one. Another receiver. I gotta look it up real quick.
I was gonna say we could sit here all day. I'm not gonna guess it.
Yeah, jump on the next one. I'll just blurt it out and you'll be like, oh yeah.
Noah
Yeah.
Brown.
Yup, exactly. Him.
Noah Brown was in Dallas.
Yeah,
He
he's
he was
solid.
injured last week though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Him and Collins have been in and out of the lineup, but they're solid.
Alrighty, boys, on to the 4 o'clock slate here. First game up, Seattle Seahawks. San Francisco 49ers in San Francisco. Big spread here, 10.5 points for San Francisco, minus 560 on the money line. 46.5 is the total. Trends I got here. For just the second time since 2011, Seattle is a double-digit dog. 49ers 11-1 against the spread in their last 12 divisional games, and the Seahawks have failed to cover 6 straight December games. What are we thinking here? First 4 o'clock matchup on the Week 14 slate. Who wants to get us rolling here?
Yeah, we already saw the Niners murder Seattle in Seattle, so I don't see I see a big mismatch here. I think the Niners coming off another shelling by to the used to I guess they still are the number one seed in the NFC, 10-2 Philadelphia Eagles. I think they're just gonna keep rolling. This team is so good, so well rounded. They don't really have a weak spot. They just keep playing like that, especially in a divisional matchup. I don't see anybody stopping them right now.
Niners minus 10. That's what
Yeah, I
Fir-
agree. This is
First
this
half
is gonna
minus
be
6.5, minus 10 full game. I mean, this team is so good.
yeah, this is gonna be one of the games where I truly can just take a big spread, not have to worry too much about it. I'm on the Niners minus the points for every reason,
I
like you're thinking
you
of.
could Yeah, you're gonna get CMC's touchdown. You know he's gonna score again. Maybe I mean Debo was a great hit off the card last week. I should have carded it with all the shit he was talking all offseason. I mean, way to back the shit you talk, San Francisco 49ers. Way to set yourself up for round 3 in the NFC Championship. Sorry, Mackie. I know your Cowboys can do it, and I hope they do. 'Cause I'm not a big Eagles guy, but realistically, it's probably gonna be a round 3 matchup. 1-1. Way to be Niners last week. They literally went in to the link and made it their home. They showed all the flaws that those Eagles have. Maybe the Cowboys can capitalize on them, but this Niners team is legit, and I am fully bought back in. I haven't lost a step from it. I figured they'd get back to it, but since the bye, they've been lights out. So confident in them winning the NFC and them winning the Super Bowl. That's what I locked before the season. So I'm going to ride minus 10 once again here.
Eagles aren't getting there. Huff.
What?
Oklahoma up 9, 8 minutes left in the first half. Florida Atlantic up 3.
Nice. I was gonna say I kind of totally forgot about that Oklahoma game was at 7. I knew FAU was on.
Wisconsin, man.
Alrighty, another 4 o'clock game here. The Minnesota Vikings, Las Vegas Raiders in Vegas. Vikings are the favorite here. 3 points for them. Minus 164 in the money line. 40.5 is the total. No trends from me coming out of this one. Who wants to start off with this game out in Vegas?
Raiders have looked good, but I don't know. I don't think Aiden O'Donnell is the answer. We were talking. Me and Ace were talking about this earlier. The Vikings aren't as good as they really make out to be. I know they started 1-5 and they're only 6-6 now. But I don't know about this Josh Dobbs led team. I mean, I think they're a bit overrated now after that win streak. You're getting Jettis back this week, which is huge. But I don't know. This Raiders team, I'm not high on them. I don't think they should have 5 wins. I think the Vikings can go on the road and get a win here. Could be a 1-2, 2 or 3 point game, so the spread's kind of sketchy, but the money line should be safe. Ace, what do you think?
Yeah, Mackie, I agree with the points you said, but one thing that I love about this week, A, you get Jettas back, but B, they're coming off of the bye. I think that's massive against one of the worst defenses of the league in the Las Vegas Raiders. Yeah, I mean, I just value it more for the Vikings. They really needed that bye, in my opinion. Raiders were kind of playing some decent football from the Raiders standards, I guess. I know they had a tough loss to the Chiefs, but I think that might have slowed them up a bit, any momentum they had. I think Josh Dobbs gets back on track. The team gets healthier. Love them -3 this week. I'm probably going to card it. I think they stay in the playoff race. They're going to be a wild card team. I don't think they're going to be able to push the Lions for the division come that 2-game matchup they have later in the season. But I think Dobbs gets back on the right foot after 4 interceptions in a tough divisional Monday night game. You get Jettis back, Addison, Hawkinson. I think they'll be going. I like the Vikes -3 here.
Yeah, I lean Minnesota here. I kind of like the under in this game, the 40.5. I don't think there's going to be too many points in this game. Like you said, both teams coming off a bye. I think the game could start kind of slow. I know that doesn't really add up with the under and the both teams coming off a bye, but in Vegas, I'm not expecting much from this game. I definitely lean the Vikings -3. I also like the under.
Yeah, actually, Huff, I'm surprised. I'm surprised you like unders a lot more than I do, but I actually picked out a few overs I like this week, and this is actually one of them. Just because, hey, like you said, coming off the buys, but like those two defenses are so weak. Not many playmakers on that side of the ball for either side, and a good running game for the Raiders, and then you have a great passing attack. I'm so excited to see what they can do now with Jefferson in the mix with all those guys. You
Yeah,
think
that's
he's
a good
hitting the
point.
gritty at Allegiant Stadium? You think there's any? We might get some great value on a Jefferson touchdown. There's no one on that side of the ball to match up with him.
Yeah, true. That's a good point. I'll definitely have to look at that.
Alrighty, on to our next 4 o'clock matchup here. Denver Broncos, Los Angeles Chargers in LA. LA the favorite, or LA Chargers the favorite here, -2.5, -154 on the money line. Total at 43.5. No trends from me here in this 4 o'clock game. Huff, why don't you get us started here?
Game of the week, Denver Broncos, Denver Broncos, Denver Broncos, +135 on the money line. They win this game, get back in the hunt for the playoffs. Chargers are a dumpster fire. Most pathetic win I've ever seen in the regular season all week, last week, winning 6-0 against Aces Patriots. Chargers should be ashamed of themselves. They should want to miss the playoffs, to absolutely clear house in LA. Give me the Broncos, tough divisional game, road dog. Love the Broncos here. Get back on the win streak. Keep it going. Russ, let Russ cook. Mackie, go.
I don't have to, I actually don't have to say a word. I'm just exactly what you just said. Yeah. I don't have to say a word.
Yeah, I'm not touching this game. I'm not touching it because
Broncos wail.
I'm not high. I'm not high on the Broncos like you guys, but the Chargers. I can't see them winning and covering, but they have a lot of talent. It's a divisional game. The seed.
Broncos, I think the Broncos are a playoff team. I'm gonna say. I
I do
think
too.
they're a playoff team, and I think that you need to win this game. And dude, they get this. What are they? 6-6 right now. Y-
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. Okay, so let's go over their schedule coming up. You have. Oh shit.
All right. So Chargers
Yeah.
this week. When do they
Okay.
get? They already played the Chiefs twice.
So you have the Chargers. You have 2 games against the Chargers. Let's say they split them,
Okay.
and you have the Lion in Detroit. You're gonna lose that one. You beat the Patriots. You beat the
Win, win,
Raiders.
win.
So they'd finish 9-8.
Playoffs. Yeah.
I think that's best scenario as well, to be honest.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
that
Did
could
they
get
beat the? They beat the Chiefs. They beat. I mean, I don't know. I could see them. I could see them go 2-0 against the Chargers for sure. I don't think that's crazy.
that's what they would have to do because they're not going to go into Detroit and beat the Lions. I don't think.
It's Saturday night football. Why is that game on a Saturday? Saturday at 8:15. Anything can happen in Detroit.
You're right. You're right. But I think the Broncos are at least a fringe playoff team. Going to 6-7 would kill their season. I think that they get a win here.
Oh, it's on Saturday because that's the first weekend without college football. The NFL always steals Saturdays as soon as college football goes
Oh,
away
I,
for
I
2
am
weeks.
gonna say this. This might make you guys happier more than it does make you bad. I'm gonna go with the Chargers to win this game. I really am. I think they're what's their record now?
5 and
Five and
7.
seven.
Yeah, I think they even up. I think they might finish ahead of the Broncos in the standings. I don't know their schedule down the stretch, but I'm gonna make it so we don't have a clean sweep of the Broncos across the board. That probably makes you feel better about your Broncos pick. But yeah, I'm going with the Chargers. I think Eckler finds the end zone. Mackey on the card last week. Tough go, but I think he gets in there this week. I'm just
Eckler
gonna.
Ace,
doesn't have
you
a
just
Eckler doesn't have a run for over 10 yards in 2 games.
Yeah, that's
that's
right.
He's
crazy.
He's a
he's
receiving
running
backup.
in mud right now. He's doing absolutely nothing. I mean, I cannot. I he's just one of the worst players at his position right now. He's doing absolutely nothing.
Ace, here's the Chargers schedule to close out the season. Home against the Broncos this week. at Vegas, another divisional game. Home against the Bills, at Denver, divisional game. Home against the Chiefs, divisional game. They still have 4 out of their last
Does
5 are
that change
divisional
your
games.
guys' opinion though that they play the Broncos in Denver down the stretch? Like, does that make you a little weary taking the Broncos this week on the road?
No, I truly think the Broncos go 2-0 against them. I think this is an absolute must-win game if you're for the Denver Broncos.
It's
They
a
have to win
must-win
this
game
game.
for the both sides of the ball for sure. Staley's
The
playing for his
Chargers are out
job.
of the playoffs.
Chargers are done. Chargers are
Chargers
done.
are done.
I don't.
They're done. They're
I
dude.
mean,
They won.
watch the
If
Bengals.
they
Watch the Bengals beat the Colts this week, and
look at
everybody's
that
7 and
game last
6.
week.
They're 6 and 7.
Look at that game last week. I mean, if that doesn't say that they're done,
They shouldn't want to make the playoffs.
team's not doing anything. There's no way.
They're 5 and 7. You're getting a bad draft pick either way. I think they're going to go for broke. I think they're too good, but they're pretty banged up. Yeah, I'm still
I don't
taking the
think-
Chargers here. I think this is going to be a tight game. I do think there is a lot of points though. I think there's a lot of air yards between both quarterbacks. You know it. The Chargers will at least hang around. They might not win it, Mackey, but you know they'll put up 20 plus. I think it's 20 plus from both sides this week.
Like the over.
Yeah, I do. I think Keenan Allen is a
love the
big day
Broncos.
too. That guy's looked great. Him and Mike Evans. Those are the two older. Cortland Sutton too. Those three guys really. They're vets now. Having good seasons. Sutton and Allen. That's a good parlay piece. You get some good odds on that. Throw a half a unit on Sutton. Allen anytime TD parlay.
Sutton's been cashing.
Yeah, he's been good. He's a good receiver, and they drafted all these guys to come in and take his spot, and none of them can. He's the consistent bona fide stud. Guys like Judy, get me so low on him. Javonte Williams. That's why I'm so low on the Broncos. I think all these guys are supposed to be the highlight reel good players for them. Just fucking duds.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I still think Jerry Jeudy can be good. I just know he's had a
Not
bad year.
there.
Yeah.
Get out of Denver. Bring
Yeah,
him to New
I think
England next
I
year.
think it's a change of scenery thing. They get a third, or I don't even know what kind of pick he'd be worth, but if it's not working there, don't hold on to it too long. But he is a stud athlete. Like, you got to at least let it, you know what I mean, work. It's like spin the tires a little bit. Like, he's
Yeah,
a freak athlete.
I'll tell you
gotta
what.
give him a chance.
Give me Caleb Williams. Give me Jerry Jeudy next year. I would not be mad.
I'd rather Marvin Harrison if I were you. I'd say fuck the quarterback.
No, Matt can never talk about that. I can't be mad with anything. That's why I keep losing. Put yourself in a good spot where you get a good option no matter what.
Draft Marvin Harrison, sign like Kirk Cousins. Do that for a year.
We'll see. Let's get into this Sunday night football game. It's a good one.
Gotta go over Chiefs Bills for.
I was gonna say, I think we got, we got one
yep.
more.
All right, one more. I'm so excited for that divisional matchup, boys.
There, boys. Last 4 o'clock game here. Bills Chiefs in Kansas City. Kansas City Chiefs, the favorite here. 2.5 points for them. -138 on the money line. Bills money line +118. Total 47.5. Trends from me here. Chiefs 12-1 straight up in their last 13 conference games. 17-2 straight up in their last 19 games played in December. Over is 10-1 in the Bills' last 11 games as the underdog. And the Bills are just 1-7 against the spread in their last 8 games. With those trends in mind, 2.5 points the spread here, 47.5 the total. What are you guys thinking here for this final 4 o'clock matchup?
Ace, what I said to Mackie before we got going here was, if you would have showed us this slate week 1, we'd have been like, Bills Chiefs game of the week for sure. Not
It's
even
still
close.
gonna be a great game.
It's a good game, but like none of us are that excited for this game because
I
the
am,
Bills
I
aren't
am,
the
though.
Bills this year, and the Chiefs aren't the Chiefs.
It's going to be a high scoring matchup, though. You know, Allen and Mahomes are going to be chucking it. Mahomes, he always suns them, so I'm going to take the Chiefs here. I think it's a big bounce back week. I feel like I say that a lot. I'm on these Chiefs. I mean, they're going to make their run. And Mackey said it earlier. He said they're going to get going, and I think it starts with a big win over the Buffalo Bills like they always do. We're going to have Tony Romo on the call. Love that, too. So Kelsey missed the end zone last week. I bet you he gets in here. Give me the Chiefs here. They're going to cover with the points. Patrick Mahomes is going to have a big game. Tony Romo is going to be calling it. It's going to be tight throughout, though. And I like the over here, definitely. Mackie, let me know what you think about this matchup.
Yeah, I'm back and forth on this one, but at the end, I really do think Chiefs will end up covering this game. It's in December. They've owned December for the past 5 years. You said 17-2
Great
in
point.
their last
Great point.
19 December. It's still Pat Mahomes. It's still Travis Kelce. They're gonna get theirs. It's a story of the Bills' season. I mean, they're just gonna come up short once again. I think Josh Allen's gonna play a good game. I think there will be a lot of points. I think it's gonna be a vintage Josh Allen versus Pat Mahomes, but the Bills just really aren't good enough this year. They're banged up. They can't. Josh Allen's just turning the ball over way too much. I think he's still going to find his turnovers in this game. A lot of points, a lot of numbers put up by both quarterbacks, but I just think Pat Mahomes gets the best of them at the end of the day. And with a 2.5 point spread, I mean, we could see a field goal break a tie to end regulation.
How funny would it be if this game goes overtime and Josh Allen doesn't touch the ball and he loses?
Please let that happen. I would laugh.
Oh my
Dude,
god,
that would be perfect scenario, just comical NFL Sunday football.
he's
This game goes to overtime like 30-30, game of the week like the Eagles 2 weeks ago. I was just so rooting for the Eagles just get the ball and go right down the field and not even give him a chance because now every time, he's still never won a game in
yeah, he's
overtime. I don't know
never
how
won a
many he's
game.
been in.
They're acting like even if he touched it, he would have won. He's still never won a game. He wouldn't have won
Yeah,
that one.
exactly. So, I don't know. I like the over. I like what you guys are saying about the over. Give me Kansas City minus the 2.5 points. I would love, like, fingers crossed. One hope and dream for this week is Josh Allen to lose this game in overtime. That would be the best scenario. That'd be so funny. And I'm not really that big of a Chiefs fan. I just think that'd be hilarious.
I'll tell you what though, this might be one of the most fun overs to bet this year. You get two of the biggest armed quarterbacks in the league going head to head. I bet you see this one on my card.
28-24 Chiefs.
You don't think anybody's touching 30s?
I don't know.
31-28,
I'm gonna say
30.
34-24 Chiefs.
I'm gonna go 30-27 Chiefs.
I like it. I like it. I like those scoring predictions here. Why don't we jump into our Sunday night football game here? The Philadelphia Eagles visiting Mackey's Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys, the favorite here, 3.5 points for them. Their money line minus 174. Eagles money line at plus 146. Total 52.5. Trends for me here. Cowboys 14-0 straight up in their last 14 games at home. 11-1 straight up in their last 12 games in December. Over is 10-1 in Philadelphia's last 11 games played in December. And the Eagles 12-2 straight up in their last 14 games on the road. So lots of trends here pointing at the over, pointing at each team respectively. But Mackie, we got to hear from you, Dallas correspondent. Mackie, what do you think?
Yeah, you guys know I'm pretty real about these Cowboys. I'll be real when I think they're gonna lose, and I'm I got the Niners. I thought they were probably gonna lose. Last Eagles game, I knew we were gonna lose that game. Even though they played better than I thought that they would, they're not gonna lose this football game in Dallas. They're honestly, in my opinion, the better team. We saw it last game. Dak Prescott was the better quarterback between the two of them. He outplayed Jalen Hurts. The whole team kind of outplayed the Eagles team. Bounces didn't go our way. 2-point conversion kind of fucked us. But we were in the link. We're going home now. We're not going to lose this game. I think this is huge for Dak Prescott. He's got all the confidence in the world. Huff, we just hit Oklahoma minus 1.5 first half, by the way.
Love that.
But yeah, I put my trust in Dak. I think CeeDee Lamb has a huge game as well. A lot of defense in this one. I don't see a lot of points, but I mean I really think the Cowboys are the better team here. We're not going to drop both of them to the Eagles. We want to have a shot to win this division. It's got to happen here.
I think this is a great
Ace,
matchup. Give me the
tell me why.
Cowboys minus 3.
Wow.
I already have it on. I already have it on the book, Mackie. They were minus 3.5. I bought the 0.5 point though. Why are you saying wow? I like the
I
Cowboys.
was expecting you to be on the Eagles.
No, fuck the Eagles, dude. They're a good team, but they've been playing bad football of late, in
They
my
have,
opinion.
right?
Think about that Chiefs game, that Bills game, and the last game where they got slaughtered. I love the Cowboys at home. It's a great place for them to play. They always have success. I think they're going to put up too many points for Jalen Hurts and the boys to do as well. I am nervous about Dak Prescott throwing interceptions. That's probably my biggest worry about this upcoming game is ball security. But I think that the Cowboys are in a great spot to cover the 3. You're probably going to see this on my card. I really do think they win this one at home. Give themselves a chance of taking the division as well. But it's going to be a great game. I think I don't know. I don't have a side on the over under, but yeah, I got the Cowboys minus 3. CeeDee Lamb's going to continue his reign. I know he's got a tough matchup ahead of him, but I mean, how can he not? Jake Ferguson, too. Maybe this is a great week for his props because they're going to be having to check down a bit more, especially in the prime time. So I'll have some extra props. I love throwing them on the Monday night, Sunday night, Thursday night for you guys. I know a lot of people are looking into those. So I'll dive deep and find the best plays there. But yeah, Cowboys minus 3. They're going to beat the Eagles this week. I know all my Philly friends that are listening don't like to hear it, but it's true. I heard one of the Phillies guys say they're going to lose to the Niners and lose to the Cowboys. So I'm going to take it and run with it. Give me the Cows minus 3. Mackey's favorite
Yeah,
song.
I don't really I don't really
Of
love a
Texas.
side on this game. I think this obviously is for sure the game of the week. I said it last week when they were playing the Niners, and I said it when they were playing the Chiefs. Getting the Eagles at plus money is just crazy, and there's always going to be value on that. But like Mackie said, they haven't been playing their best ball the past couple of weeks. I just don't know if they can lose 2 games in a row. This is a huge game this week. Obviously, division on the line. Can the Eagles step up when it matters the most on the road? Sunday Night Football. They're the best. They've been the best Sunday Night Football team. I know they play the most games, but in the prime time, they've had the best record over the past 2 seasons with Jalen Hurts. I lean the Eagles. I don't love the spread either way. I don't know which way I'm going on this one. I'd wait until Sunday. Wouldn't be surprised if the Cowboys win this game at all with the way the Eagles have been playing.
Mackie, how long until you start singing that fight song for the Cowboys? I think
If they win
that's what's
if
gonna
they win
take for
this
them to win.
game,
No, I think you might have to start doing it, or else you're never gonna see the Super Bowl. Maybe if you start doing it
if they
before
win
the
this game,
playoffs,
I
they're
might
gonna
have
go
to
on a
rip
run.
it. I might have to rip it.
Mackey's the key to Dallas, I
Yeah.
think.
You
Okay,
gotta
well,
get
if
the
they win this
suit
game,
too.
all right,
You gotta
I'll
get
do it.
the suit with the overalls and the hands and the funky
The
hat.
cowboy hat,
Remember
the huge cowboy hat.
what was your quote? I'm not gonna use your exact wording, but you were basically saying it was sad sight to be a Cowboys fan in
It's
AT&T
just
Stadium.
very
No,
it's
he's
it
he
makes
said
me
Yeah, you know what he
uncomfortable
said.
being a
being
You know what he
Cowboys fan
said.
hard.
I know what he
Yeah,
said.
okay. Let's just move on from this segment. Let's go Cowboys. Big game Sunday night. Looking forward to it.
Yes,
Jalen
sir.
Hurts anytime touchdown lock.
Yeah, I mean, before
Puff your
it's banned,
faggot.
you might as well bet it every week until it's banned.
CD Lamb's also going to score. Mackie, you happy about that one?
Yeah,
Jake
that's what I
Ferguson.
wanna hear.
I would take Jake Ferguson first touchdown if he knew how to fucking catch. Fuck him. I'm mad at him.
He's a tight end. They
He
don't
had a
they don't
great
fully
game last week
understand.
too.
Dude, he fucking dropped one in the end zone and then Dak threw one a little low. He wanted to go to him again.
Don't blame Dak.
I'm going to blame him, dude. That ball was 4 feet off the ground. That should have been a touchdown.
4 feet's not bad. 4 feet's in the chest.
It was a bad throw.
4 feet higher, Des would have caught it.
What do you Dez did catch it.
Embrace debate, not on this episode.
God, I would have so much ammo if he just caught that. We would have won the Super Bowl. You guys would never be able to chirp me ever.
Is that the NFC
Telling you, you know
Championship?
what it takes to break the curse,
the
man. We're
NFC
waiting for it one
Championship,
day
yeah.
on the pod. Give us your best rendition of it.
It's gonna be the Rangers. Rangers are giving me one first.
Alrighty, Cowboys in the prime time here this week. We'll be talking about that one on our Sunday live stream, 10 a.m. Eastern on YouTube and Rumble. Make sure you tune in for that. Let's jump over to these 2 games on Monday night, both at the same time. Just love that. Love that they don't stagger starts. Tennessee Titans, Miami Dolphins. Dolphins, the heavy favorite here in at home. 13.5 points here on FanDuel, minus 900 on the money line. My favorite bet of the week, and a over/under of a solid 47 points. The trends I got here: Dolphins 17-2 straight up in their last 19 games at home. Titans 1-10 straight up in their last 11 games on the road, including 9 straight. Under 11-3 in past 14 meetings here in Miami, and the under is 12-4 in Tennessee's last 16 games. So trends pointing there at the under, as well as the Dolphins here, obviously, but 13.5 points is the question. Ace, what are you thinking here coming into this first Monday night game?
My initial thought is I want to take this large spread, but I just came off of a doozy on Monday Night Football. I went 2-1, and I made good units up there. I think like 2 or 3 units, but I got crushed on that big spread of the heavily favored team. I think I'm gonna stay away from a big spread on Monday Night Football. Those of you that are thinking it's basically like a college game, they're gonna crush them. We bet these spreads all the time. I don't know. Be wary of Monday Night Football, especially against a Mike Vrabel coach team. I think I might go back to old reliable Tyreek Hill on the catches. He didn't get last week, just because of the way the game went.
Got that tutty though.
Yeah, his touchdown automatic. Mostert too. Him and Mostert. I mean, those could just be my 2 plays. So I'll have 2 to 3 props on this one. Definitely check back, like I said, for our Sunday night game. But Mostert and Hill, they're automatic. I mean, even a chain grabbed a pair last week. So anytime guy you can grab this week, I say grab them. But don't be surprised if Levis somehow finds a way to keep it close just because it's Monday Night Football.
I would be surprised. I love the Dolphins here. Big number, bad team. Love the Dolphins at home. Monday Night Football. Tyreek Hill, 2 touchdowns. Mostert, 2 touchdowns. They're going to spread the love around, so it's not both going to hit. Dolphins minus 13. Don't overthink this one. Ace, I understand why you're not on it. I'm usually the one that overthinks these huge spreads, and I'd take the Titans here. Give me the Dolphins at home. They're going to murder the Titans.
Yeah, I think the 13 should be safe. I like a first half spread as well. I just think the Titans aren't very good. We did see a little firepower from Will Levis last week. Him and D-Hop kind of went at it. It's nice to see your quarterback show that passion, especially as a rookie, kind of take control. So maybe wouldn't be surprised if we saw something out of him this week that we weren't expecting. But I mean, this Dolphins team, they do it every single time they play a shitty team. They just blow them out. They put up numbers, put up 40 points, 45 last week against the Commanders. We're going to see those guys, those star players. Going to see Tyreek Hill, Mostert, even a chain probably get in the end zone. So I'm going to go with the Dolphins minus 13.
The Dolphins just score way too fast for this Titans team. This Titans team likes to play low, keep it to the close to the chest, run the ball with Derrick Henry, get down to the goal line, let him chew it up 3 times. Meanwhile, next thing you know, there's 9 minutes or 8 minutes taken off the clock in a Tennessee Titans goal line, or 25-yard line to goal line drive. And a 75-yard drive, they're eating up 8 minutes. This Dolphins team can score on any given play. I just think the points are going to get out of hand for Tennessee. Give me the Dolphins to cover the number.
Solid stuff there, boys. Let's move over to this next Monday Night Football game here. The Green Bay Packers, the New York Giants in New York. Packers the favorite here, 6.5 points for them, minus 320 on the money line, 37.5 is the total. Trends I got: Giants 1-10 straight up in their last 11 games played on a Monday, including 8 straight. Under 10-2 in the Giants' last 12 games as the underdog. Packers 16-0 straight up in their last 16 games played in December. Don't love that stat. Mackie, you want to start us off here on this second Monday Night Football game? What do you got for us?
Yeah, give me Jordan Love and the Packers. I mean, this team's playing really good football. Big win last week. Sunday night, Sunday night, I think it was. Jordan Love just has a lot of confidence. I wasn't very high on him coming into the season. I was right about the beginning of the season. He didn't have a lot in him, but he's gaining a lot of confidence. He's playing really good football. He's moving the ball with confidence. He's moving out of the pocket. He's just kind of everything's coming full swing for him. I like this Packers team. I think that they can in the future be a contender and be a very good team. Might even see them squeak into the playoffs this year. But this Giants team has nothing going for them. I don't think they're going to put up many points. Their defense isn't even that good, so it leaves room for the Packers to put up points. I like the under, but I do like the Packers to cover 6.5.
I'm not watching this game, and I'm not betting on this game with the Dolphins game on. I'll tell you that. But I do think I think the Packers could lose this game. I really do.
I kind of agree, Ace. I think this is a very good spot for the Giants to play
You're
spoiler. I don't
crazy.
think they're going to.
I don't think they're
I
going
kind
to.
of lean the Giants. I like a Barkley touchdown. I think the Giants can squeak this thing out and at least keep it close. I won't take it on my card. You might see the Barkley touchdown on my card.
Yeah, I that's not a bad play, but I don't think there's going to be
Barkley
many
just
points.
he seems useless these past few weeks. I mean, the Giants are so bad. I can't even play him in fantasy.
He hasn't scored a lot, but I feel like Monday Night Primetime Football, they'll get him in.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Huff here, especially at home in the prime time. Like I said, I don't think I'll have an official play on this. I think the Packers are a bit overrated. They're riding high after a big win. I don't think they're going to get into the playoffs, and I think it starts with a tough loss here on the road against the New York
A
Football Giants.
loss.
The veto.
Wow.
Who is the
All right.
MetLife turf going to take next as their victim?
I might tease. I'm looking at a teaser opportunity here. We got 2 Monday Night Football games. I'll probably do Packers minus a half a point and the over 41 Titans Dolphins.
I
Like
literally
that.
was going to do Dolphins minus 8.5, Giants plus 11.
I think that can hit too.
Yeah.
I think that Packer game can fall in between 0 and 11 points.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know why there's two.
Alrighty, and the NBA in-season tournament has kicked off here. Some games last night, one going off right now, Knicks and Bucks, Suns and Lakers here later tonight, some more on Thursday, depending on who wins this Knicks, Bucks, Suns, Lakers game. What are you guys thinking as this is underway now and already rolling? Ace, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, the two teams I bet on and thought were going to win last night both lost, both favorites. Darren Fox and the Kings dropping one, and then Jason Tatum and the Celtics dropping one as well. So not what I expected. Tonight I'm looking at the Bucks to get things done against Mackey's New York Knicks, and then I do like the Phoenix Suns. I'm like Huff. I think this is a good spot for the Lakers. I mean, if there ever was a time, short little run. Once they get
How
in the playoffs,
LeBron
I
is
think
it to win this in-season
How
tournament?
LeBron? How scripted is it for LeBron to add it to the accolades? I guarantee you, the Lakers win this in-season tournament.
No, I
The
guarantee
first
he loses
annual.
the
The
championship.
first annual. The first annual in-season tournament is going to LeBron James, and he's beating Tyrese Halliburton.
Give me Slim Reaper
Yeah, I
and the
said-
Suns on the money line tonight.
I
Mackie,
just think
last week I told me when me and Ace were talking about this, we both were kind of in agreement. We said this would be perfect for the NBA to get that Celtics Lakers finals that they wanted last year, and they didn't get either of them in the finals. I said you get the Celtics and the Lakers. I think that's why me and Ace are on the same page with the Celtics with the points last night. Obviously losing that to Indiana, but I'm still on the Lakers. I think it's so NBA for LeBron to win this thing.
it is so NBA for LeBron to win the first annual in-season tournament. But yeah, I mean, those Celtics took a tough loss last night. Tyrese Halliburton is so good, dude.
Triple-double, dude. He's unreal. I'm done
I
betting
saw
against the
something.
Pacers. I was betting on them so much to start the year, and I don't know
I
why I
told you.
went against them, dude.
Did I tell you,
believe
Huff,
me.
earlier in the season? It was that you who I told. I said these Pacers are pesky. Tyrese Halliburton's going off. But
Yeah,
saw a
I like
stat.
them. I've always
I
liked
saw
them.
do
Do you think
I like
there's
Heel.
stat.
do you think who do you guys think now of the two teams last night? Do either of those teams have a chance to win the whole thing? The Pels and
I think the
the
Pacers do.
Pacers?
I think
I think
do
the Pacers will represent
do.
the East. Yeah,
I definitely do. I think that. I mean, they just took down the big dogs. I mean, obviously the Celtics. The Celtics are one to worry about. I genuinely think the Knicks will win tonight. I don't think it's different. I mean, you have these teams fighting for their lives. You know how many players are on their Pacers roster who makes league minimum $3 million? I mean, $500,000 goes a long way for teams like that. The Bucks, high salary, most of their starters make north of $20 million. At least 3 out of 5 of them do, probably more. I mean, these teams, they have more to fight for.
you know who wins with all this is the fucking NBA, because this is exactly what they wanted. Us
You know what?
arguing about in-season tournament games. And did you guys see that? Ace, did you watch the Celtics last night?
Yeah, I watched some of it.
It looked like Game 7 of the first round.
You know
of the
what?
playoffs.
You know what?
Oh,
Adam Silver,
they court
like,
looked crazy.
fucking
Yep.
hats off. Hats off to Adam Silver, because I mean, his entire intention was to make regular season games important and make them like live and everything. If you watched that game last night, it was a complete playoff atmosphere.
It was Game
makes
7 first round atmosphere.
It's awesome. I mean, the ratings have got to be through the roof as well. I don't tune in for NBA games.
That's
like that.
that's what
And
I was
tuned
gonna
in.
say is
Like
we aren't tuning in. We aren't
have-
tuning in if it's not for this.
Exactly, and you have these sports fans that don't tune in for those games, and now they are tuning in because it means more. I mean,
Like
I
guarantee I'm watching this whole Lakers game tonight.
I think Adam
That's a good
Silver. I mean,
matchup. I love
he
that
got
matchup.
Yeah, that's a KD LeBron, dude. That's great.
he got a lot of shit for this. Everyone was shitting on him. Hats off to Adam Silver. This is a great move. Great business decision by him, and I think the NBA
Any of the leagues copy it.
off of
Obviously, not the NFL. NFL won't do anything like this. They
can't do it in the NFL.
Does the NHL or MLB try anything like this in the next 5 years?
NHL does not, because the NHL is so like by themselves. They don't even care what the fuck the rest of the 3 leagues do.
I think the MLB will try it.
I think the MLB should try it.
I think
and
they should
I think
too.
they will as well. I don't see it in the NHL. I think the NHL is so to themselves that they don't want to be like, oh, let's copy the NBA. Like, no way.
Yeah, see, I think the MLB is like, we don't give a fuck. We already play so many games. Let's make 20 games matter that much more for teams like the Pirates and the teams that don't matter. Like, this is fun for the NBA franchises that don't make the playoffs. Like, you know what I mean? The fucking, like, I know the Timberwolves are having a pretty good year, but like, dude, they were doing electric in this tournament. And like, you had a series being like, holy shit, I might see the Timberwolves win something. What that really means in bragging rights, I don't know what winning the in-season tournament means in terms of bragging rights, but like, I'd like to see it in baseball
Confidence.
personally.
You could see a lot of confidence goes up.
I think baseball should try it for sure. Not immediate, because they'd be copying too much, but like I think in the next 5 years the MLB tries something.
And it doesn't even have to
similar.
be the same concept. It could be just like, I mean, it doesn't even have to be the same thing. It can just be like off the same concept. Like just like, I don't know, obviously
I think it would
playing
be
your own
cooler if it
goals,
was
but-
truly like 1 month long. Like that was the month. You know what I mean? Like for the MLB, like they should do it like every game in the month of June is this in-season tournament, and then the last game of the in-season tournament, you go straight into the All-Star break.
Right. Yeah, I like that as well. Yeah, they got to do something, because I mean, nobody's sitting there. And
Damn, I wish Ace was here
Keeping
to
up.
fucking give his opinion on this, because he's like our baseball guy. But I'll have to say that again when he gets back. That's actually, I don't know. I just kind of like thought of that off the rip. That seems like that would kind of work. What
Yeah,
you
for
play
sure.
like? So they should keep the divisions if they do it in the MLB, like how they did the pools based on the prior playoff standings. That was a great idea by the NBA, and they made great like seedings with the one, obviously like 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6, like the exact opposite snake draft style.
Yeah, I didn't realize how they did it, but yeah, okay.
They did it really good, seeding it like that, not getting like some of the teams where it was a 3, a 4, you know what I mean, and then like so on and so on. Where the one was with like a 6 and so on. But I think the MLB, if they did it, it'd be cool if they just kept their divisions and like had a mini in season tournament, like for lack of a better term, like that'd be pretty sick.
Yeah, I agree for sure. That'd be pretty cool. They gotta do
Yeah,
something.
I don't think
160
the NHL should do it. I don't think the NHL will do it.
I don't think they'll do it either, but 162 games, you gotta do something here.
You have a better chance of NHL players going back to the Olympics than you have the NHL copying that.
Which I'm pulling for that as well.
Yeah. All right, I don't really care to tell Ace that, I guess. Fuck him.
Alrighty.
I don't know where the
Uh,
fuck you went.
Speaking of the MLB, for the first time in club history, the Guardians will have the first pick in the MLB draft. The club won the 2024 draft lottery on Tuesday at the winter meetings. The news was very unexpected as they were just given a 2% chance to get
You have
that first overall pick.
You have a snooze button or like a want something. I don't care. Guardians are trash. Don't care about them.
I
Addison, love
actually
you.
genuinely do not give a fuck.
Yeah, couldn't care less about that. Fuck the Guardians.
Like, I do not give a fuck.
Ace, I assume you put that in there. We're chirping the Guardians, #1 overall pick. We both
We
said
can't hear
neither
you
of
yet.
us care.
What up?
I said you just got back in time. Jesse was telling us how the Guardians got the first pick, and me and Matt, I go, you got a snooze
Oh.
button or something to tell them I don't care about that.
Oh, pitch
The
him your
Cleveland Indians.
idea.
Yeah, wait, Ace, this is what I want to tell you. So I asked Mackie this question with the in-season tournament and the success that they've had. Do you see the we kind of agreed that the NHL wouldn't try it. Could you see this happen in the MLB where they kind of try something similar?
No shot.
No,
I think the NHL and the MLB, they have like built-in tournaments. You have that World Baseball Classic. You have the Olympics and shit like that built in already.
I kind of forgot about
I-
the Classic, but it's like, isn't that before the season?
but hasn't it been during the season before too? I don't
Yeah,
even
it's
know.
before the season. Edwin Diaz like fucking break his ankle on a
Oh yeah, it
fucking
was like right
dog
before the
pile.
season, Huff. Maybe that's why I think that though. But
Yeah.
also the other thing is they're bringing attention to the NBA because it's dominated by NHL, college, NFL right now. I think MLB doesn't have anything to compete with. They have a long enough season already, so they wouldn't need to. And
Like Mackie,
NHL,
this
I
is
don't
what college
see the
basketball like
NHL doing
already
that. The
does with these
NHL's
invitationals.
yeah, literally the Maui Invitational. Like I'll watch that because it's a championship type game, and you have top end teams playing, and it matters. One thing I did want to bring up on the NHL topic though, real quick. Did you guys see they're going to decentralize the NHL draft in a few? There's one more year of the NHL draft, and then it's going to be like a Zoom call, basically.
Really?
What?
Yeah, yeah, it's going to be.
Where'd you hear that? Because I heard that cities are putting in bids for 26 and 27,
I saw that. I saw it today. I think.
For the NHL
Maybe,
draft,
which
Jesse?
means it's
Yeah.
determined for 2 years already if they're putting in
Yeah,
bids for 3
there's an
years.
NHL draft decentralizing. Yeah, the location of the draft before the league goes to a decentralized model where teams will stay in their home markets was the biggest piece of news to come from Bettman. The league said this. Yeah, that came. I think it was today. That
It's a
came out
huge
today.
loss of cash for them.
Yep.
Millions.
Yeah, actually, October 26th, the NHL voted and near unanimously agreed to decentralize their draft day. So we missed that, but that's a weird. I don't know. I saw it on social media today. I was like, oh, that's kind of stupid, in my opinion.
So it's
Stuff
going to
you
be
usually
like,
see. Usually they make it a bigger deal than it is. They're making it not a big deal. So like everybody's gonna be at their respective place. I don't know how players are going to be anywhere or anything like that.
isn't that so it's going to be like the COVID year NFL draft every year?
Yeah, I believe so.
That's weird.
You guys remember Joe
Brutal.
Burrow calling in
Also,
from his
yeah,
living room?
yeah.
Yeah, that was funny.
Also, I'm
Is
not
that
going to lie,
George Pickens here?
yeah, where he's standing in his room in front of his TV. Yeah, that picture, that's where that came from. I'm not going to lie, I've never watched past the first 5 picks of an NHL draft, so I'm not going to say I care either.
Well, it
When
kind
my
of
boy
makes
got
sense with the
drafted, I tuned in.
decentralization though, because of guys throughout the world. It's more of a global sport, unlike the NFL where everybody's coming out of college.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I guess you get that point. Yeah. But like I said, I don't watch the NHL draft, so I really don't care.
Yeah, no.
NFL
I
is the
just
only
feel
draft I
like
watch.
Jesse said. like Justin said, you're
I
missing
like
out
the
on a
NBA
ton of
draft too.
money. I don't
NBA
understand.
you watch because you watch college basketball a lot.
Yeah, NBA and NFL are the 2 drafts I actually care about. NHL and
MLB,
NBA are the
NHL.
that I'm just like, I'm not even gonna see these guys for 3 years, most
That's the thing. NBA and NFL, those guys are going right into the
we're
league. They're
straight in the
making an
league,
impact
immediate
right away.
impact. Yep.
NHL, like Huff said, you get the top like 3 to 5 picks
Yeah.
that might go straight. Usually it's only 1 or 2. But yeah, like you don't see those guys for a few years. What the fuck is the point of watching it?
Yeah, sorry to throw us off on a tangent there, but I was just like, what the fuck?
No, it's cool. Yeah.
Alrighty, I think the last thing for us to go over here, college football playoff has been set. Huff, can you go into that in a little more detail than I probably can?
Yeah, so we got our top 4 set. Number 1 is gonna be, obviously, we saw Michigan secure the 1 seed with, Georgia losing. So Michigan gets the 1 seed. Oh, I'm pulling up the wrong thing here. Michigan gets the 1 seed. Washington slides up into that 2 seed with Texas jumping into the 3 spot with who else but Alabama at number 4. Florida State obviously has been the talk of the town this week, going 13-0, winning a Power 5 conference, not getting in. No one wanted to see Florida State in the playoff. No one's going to act like they wanted to see Florida State in the playoff. All these guys on ESPN wearing mics, getting paid to say they wanted to see Florida State. Florida State got screwed. I agree. And now all the memes you're seeing, should the Jaguars be decommit or voted out of the playoff just because Trevor Lawrence could be hurt? All this shit. I know it's not real, but I didn't want to see Florida State. I was huge on Florida State throughout this year. I really thought they had a chance to win a national title with Jordan Travis. When he goes down, I wanted to see Alabama. I also wanted to see Georgia. I think we're going to get a great playoff. Out of the 4, give me Alabama versus Washington with an Alabama national championship.
Wow, I like that. Yeah, with Florida State, I mean, it's a shitty situation. Did they deserve to be in the college football playoff? 100%. But if you want the 4 best teams, like the committee says, they want the 4 best teams, not the 4 most deserving. You can't put them in there. They're not a 4 bet. They're not one of the 4 best teams. You make lines for that game. Every other spread is so much higher with Florida State than every other team. Um, so I mean, you can't put them in there. And with Georgia, there's also no way that you can find a way to put them in there. You have to put Texas over Bama. You cannot put Georgia over Bama. Um, it sucks, but they are probably a top 4 team. But I think there's 6 teams that were eligible this year for that top 4. With Ohio State being the 6th. But college football playoff expansion just 1 year too late. But next year we won't have this problem. But I'm gonna go with Bama Texas national championship.
I
I
just
don't know.
changed my mind, Mackie, before you cut in here. I just changed my mind. I saw Texas was -4, and I saw the games being played in New Orleans. Give me Texas versus Alabama. Alabama gets the rematch. Alabama national title.
I'm gonna go the same exact thing. I go Bama, Texas. They both found a way to slip in. Actually, first time ever that the 1 seed has jumped from the 1 seed to out of the college football playoff on championship weekend. And Bama is the highest seed to ever jump in as an 8 seed jumping in. We also have Texas as a 7 seed jumping in, which also would have been the highest. But so much happened last week. It's crazy. But I'm gonna go with Bama versus Texas national championship, and give me Bama to take it home.
Yeah, I'm not even as big of a college guy as you guys, as you know, but it's weird. I want to change my pick now that you guys both said it, but I thought the same thing. I was like, it's got to be Bama, Texas for the TV ratings. Then give me Bama. But one thing I did have a question on is, do I have better odds if I take them right now? Back on August 31st, I put in one college football championship winner bet, and it was Alabama plus 550. Do I have better odds
Uh,
on?
I think it's +500 right now.
Oh, good. So me taking this on August 31st, I got plus 50 on the odds.
I think last time I saw it floating around. I think once they got in, they jumped there. They definitely dropped down. You definitely have a better price than you can get anywhere right now. On FanDuel, they're the second team at +210. So if you look at that, the FanDuel odds go Michigan to win the national title +175, Alabama +210. So they think the winner of that game wins the national title. And then Texas right behind them at +260 with Washington +800. All they've done is win games, and they're just
All they've
continuing
done
to get
is
disrespected.
they're so underrated. I mean, it's crazy. I'm not going to take them to beat Texas here because I think that Texas is very good, and I think that they're a bit overpowering. But Washington's not going to go away easy. I mean, 9.5
None of you
point
guys are
underdogs last
talking about
game.
Michigan though. Like
I
everyone
don't
loves
think
to see.
JJ Patterson has it.
McCarthy. Is it
JJ
McCarthy?
McCarthy. The last guy was Patterson.
Yeah.
I don't think JJ McCarthy has it. I don't think that Michigan team is really even that good. I mean, they beat Ohio State. I think it was just one of those Michigan Ohio State rivalries. I think Ohio State was a better team. Michigan had a cakewalk schedule. I mean,
Playing devil's advocate though, Jalen Milroe, I haven't heard shit about him until he had that big drive a couple weeks ago. You
'cause it's
really
more that
think he's gonna
defense.
take it? He's gonna take it to a Michigan defense like that though?
I mean, he took it to a Georgia defense.
Yeah, yeah, you're not wrong. That is
That
Michigan.
Alabama
They're the one
defense is
seed
really
for a
gonna shut
reason.
down JJ McCarthy.
No, I
What do you
mean
think
Why?
there? So you're
Why
thinking?
are they
Are
the
you
one
thinking the
seed though?
under? So is it going to be an under in that game? That 1v4 game? That's going to be a low scoring game. You think?
Yeah, I'll go with the under. I like the under in that one.
see. I don't know. I think Alabama's offense is capable to put up a lot of points. Michigan's very good at scoring as well. I don't think you'll see many field goals in these bowl games. I don't love betting unders in college football. I don't know what the over under is set at. I'm trying to find it really quick. If someone
40,
knows it,
50, 56, I think it was 52,
40,
maybe.
45 and a half for the Alabama Michigan game.
That's going to go up too.
The other one's like 64, isn't it?
63 and a half for Texas Washington. That's the one I expected to be more high scoring, but I like that over 45 and a half for Bama Michigan. I think if Michigan's going to win this game, they got to outscore. I mean, obviously it's dumb as fuck to say they got to outscore Alabama, but I'm saying in the red zone, you got to get touchdowns. You got to get 6 points, not 3. I think if they want to compete in this game, Alabama's going to be putting up 7 each time up and down the field. I think Michigan's got to keep pace, and like Mackie said, it's a huge game, the biggest game of JJ McCarthy's career as a Michigan Wolverine. We'll see what he does against arguably one of the next to Michigan, the favorite to win the national title. You're getting Nick Saban. Everyone wants to say Michigan had a cakewalk of the schedule all year, but they're getting Bama right here. And if they win this game, I mean, you can't really argue with that. But I like Bama plus 100 to win this game. Probably like most of the rest of the country does, though.
I'm not high on Michigan. I don't really think they've done much to be honest. They only beat Ohio State. That's really the only good team that they've beaten. Steady, but I like the under. I don't think there's going to be a lot of points. I think Jaden.
We got a lot of time to chew on this one, right?
Yeah, New Year's Day,
New Year's Eve, I think, or
New Year's
New Year's
Day.
Day.
New
Yeah,
Year's Day is on a Saturday this year, I think.
last year they did New Year's Eve.
Yeah,
Everything's all switched up.
New
This year
Year's
'cause they
Day
have,
is a
like,
Monday this
They
year.
have like NFL games
And New
on
Year's
New
Day
Year's
Sunday.
Eve and shit too. So
yeah, these games are on a Monday. It says.
Alrighty. I think that's all we got here this week. Week 14 of the NFL. Lots of college football to look forward to here come the end of the month. MLB, little action there. Nothing too exciting. NHL, nothing too exciting coming out of that right now. But that's all I got this week. Make sure to stay tuned for our live stream Sunday mornings, 10 a.m. Eastern, our top 5 games of the week, including the Sunday Night Football matchup. That's all I got this week, boys. Anything else to add?
I think that's going to do it for us. Obviously, like I say it every week, thanks for listening. Make sure you're tuning into the live stream this Sunday for our Week 14 picks. Boys crushed it on the card last week, looking to keep it moving. So don't want to miss that. Turn the post notifications on so you're not missing any plays. Me and Mackie hit a first half Oklahoma. In this one, college basketball card's been rolling. NBA card is positive as well. Looking to get them all back up there and possibly in the double digits like college basketball was last year. So trying to hit our stride here in the world of college and pro basketball. NHL, we've been sliding a little bit, but the NHL's been pretty hard to call this year. So picking our games when we see them and when we're all thinking value there. But make sure you're staying tuned to the podcast and the social media each and every week. We really appreciate it. Thanks for listening. We'll see you guys next week. Let's go Steelers.